Hey everybody, happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. This is Amelia Perez. Thank you so much for joining me on the DABZ Podcast. Today's special edition, November 15, 2021. It is my 16 years anniversary with UPS. Yes, 16 years. I have been blessed and been able to survive it and been able to learn and grow through it. So today, in honor of that fact, I wanted to just share a little bit of my career journey with you all, where I started, where I've been, and where I'm at now in my 16-year career. I can't believe it's been that long, that I've been doing anything dedicated and for that long a time. But I have to say that I'm very proud of that accomplishment. Over and all, I love my job, even though it is crazy. But I've had a lot of growth throughout the years, and I have to say that it has given me the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to just give you guys a little recap into my 16 years. I welcome any questions. I welcome, hey, if you have any stories you want to share or you want me to share, hey, hit me down in the comments. Subscribe, like, share this video. And hey, the more feedback I get, the more I'll come back and maybe have a second video and elaborate on some of those stories. I'm not going to go in too much crazy detail. I'll definitely try not to mention names. You should recognize yourself in the story if you've been a part of my journey. And like I said, it's been 16 years, so I'm not going to be able to go through everybody. So, disclaimer right now, if I don't talk about you or don't mention you right now, don't take it personal. I'm not trying to make this a 2-hour, 3-4 hour video. And you guys know that I could talk that much. So I'm trying to keep this relatively short. You got to keep the attention span, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to go into crazy detail, but I'm just going to recap. So like I said, I started in November 15th, 2005. I was a 19-year-old college student when I started. I actually got the job thanks to my ex-father-in-law. Shout out. Shout out to my man Florin. All right. My ex-girl's stepdad got me the job, and I remember it as if it was yesterday. We were standing in the kitchen of their house over there off of Stedham Drive, I believe. That big freaking 2-story house that they had. And her stepdad, Florin, was right there in the kitchen. And I was telling him how much I needed a job. And he was like, okay, like I could get you a job, but it's going to suck. And I remember him specifically telling me, they're going to work you a lot of hours. It's going to be physical, and you're not going to get paid much. But it is an opportunity that if you grind it out and you stick it through, there's other opportunities in the company that you'll be able to live a good life and be able to take care of your family. And honestly, at 19 years old, I just needed to make some money. Man, 19 years old, take me back. I was Rio Hondo State. Shout out to all my Rio Hondo State road runners. All right, 2006, 2007, you already know, conference champs. We always got to do that. You already know. I mean, that's for life. So shout out to my girls over there. But yeah, that was the prime of life right there. If you are 19 to 25, you are in the prime of your freaking life. You are in the prime of your young days. So enjoy. Not to say that I'm, old and have no prime years left, but man, 19 years old, you never get that again. If you're lucky and blessed enough to not have to, have too much going on at that age. But man, it was simple at that time. It was about school, ball, my girl, and my friends. And the job was at the bottom of that. Yeah, I had a job because I needed to make money. So he got me an interview. I remember going into the Main Street building. Shout out to all my Main Street OGs. Started there in 2005 and worked there all the way to 2015. So spent 10 years, 9.5 in that building. That's the home building for sure. Man, when I started, I was, like I said, going to school, playing basketball, doing that whole thing. And man, it was an adjustment, needless to say. We used to start at that time about 4:30, between 4:30 and 5 a.m. And that is late now. I wish we could do those 5 a.m. start times. Now we start at freaking 3:30, 3:15. Man, but yeah, we used to start at 5, so I used to work from like 5 to 9. So it was really like a 4-hour shift. back in the days. But man, it was a crazy intense 4 hours. Um, I remember that my first full-time supervisor, my first day, I overslept. My first day of work, I overslept. I did not get up. I slept right through my alarm. I remember calling the number in the back of my ID, freaking out like, oh my God, they're going to fire me and I haven't even started yet. You know what I mean? It's almost like Craig, but not really because, at least Craig had a job, even though he got fired on his day off. My butt, I was like, man, I'm going to get fired. I don't even have the job yet. So I was freaking out. I called um, Nicole, I believe, answered the phone. Did Nicole answer? No, Felicia answered the phone. Felicia Tripp. And all those are my true UPSers. You guys know who Felicia Tripp is. She does not need an intro. I'm one of the baddest mama jammas to ever walk through a preload, a center, any kind of a building. Felicia is an OG. But yeah, she was my first full-time supervisor ever. And man, she cracked the whip. She cracked the whip. But I remember being scared and I told her that I was sick. Yes, I admit that I lied. But I was scared. But I knew I was going to work. I wasn't afraid of work. It's just I couldn't wake up at that time of the morning. My body was just like, nope. So she was like, okay. I remember her saying, you know what? The fact that you called me and made contact with me, even though you didn't show up, I'm going to give you that opportunity, that benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to let you come in. So she let me come in. And man, the rest, as they say, is history. I started in the preload. I started loading cars. When I started out in that building and in that sort, I could count on one hand the amount of loaders, female loaders that there were in the building. I believe it was just Tommy, me, and Liz. And me and Liz started the same year, plus or minus 6 months. And we didn't even talk to each other at that time. I remember we used to have PCMs, we used to have meetings in the middle of the sort. And I remember her and I just kind of doing the dog look, doing the stud dog look. I was like, I ain't talking to this girl. She kind of looks a little mean. and exactly that's what she thought of me. Because, of course, after a couple of weeks, whatever, I don't know how we came to talk. I don't know if it was at the break room. I don't know what was going on. But we had a conversation. And after that, it was like, she's cool as fuck. And, and we were homies. And we are homies to this day. Shout out to the homie Liz. We went through many things together. Coming up as young UPSers back in the day. So we met about 2006-ish. Early 2006, probably late 2005, but I don't think we spoke until after peak. And then we became co-homies, and we're homies to this day. Good freaking person. Good vibes, hard worker. So we had a lot in common. Young studs. We're freaking just out there doing the damn thing. So, she's one of my truest friends. I'd have to say that came out of UPS. One of the many that I've been lucky and blessed to have and consider family. So shout out to the homie Liz. Shout out to all the people in my Main Street family. There's way too many to name. I'm not even going to try because everybody's like, what about me? What about me? No, you guys already know who you are, right? After 10 years, needless to say, many partnerships, many relationships built there. So a couple of my full-time soups, Nicole. I remember Nicole was a supervisor, and one thing that I will always appreciate, and I've been lucky enough to be able to tell her this to her face. I saw her probably 6 months ago. I went to go pick up some labels in Gardena, and she was there. And she was just like, man, I'm proud of you. You've come a long way, la, la, la. And, she helped me out. I remember, man, I don't remember what year it was. I want to say 2007, but I am terrible with years. I got into my first car accident with my first car. A Nissan Altima. Some chick was on her phone and T-boned me in an intersection. I was going straight and she was coming this way and made the left, even though obviously the person that's going straight has the right of way. And I saw her. And she saw me, I thought, but she was on her phone. So she saw me, maybe, but didn't register. Went to make the turn anyway, and straight T-boned me in the intersection off of Ramona and I don't know where that Valero station is at, by Cogswell. Um, but yeah, it was pretty scary. But after that, long story short, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a way to get to work. And Nicole, like the OG that she is, came through. And I remember she used to pick me up all the way. So we told you I worked in LA. To give you a point of reference where that's at, is close to Dodger Stadium. You can see Dodger Stadium from where we work at. And she would pick me up. I lived in La Mirada, of course. I was going to college, so I lived with my tia in La Mirada. And she would pick me up. Actually, she didn't drive. Well, no, she did drive, but they only had one car. So her husband, right, would be driving. Nicole would be in the passenger seat, and their son would be in the back seat. So you could just imagine how pissed off. And her husband was grumpy. She said all the time, he's grumpy, he's mad. It is what it is. Imagine how upset you would have to be to, like, why are we picking her up again? But she did that for me for months until I was able to get a car. And that helped me keep my job. That simple act. And it wasn't a simple act. I mean, yeah, I gave her gas money, but how much could I really give her? It wasn't about the gas. It was about the effort. It was about driving from Inglewood past our job to La Mirada to pick me up to make sure that I made it to work. And on the one or two occasions that she couldn't pick me up, she made a supervisor go pick me up. And that was freaking crazy. Next, I'll have to say my man Dean. Dean, shout out to my guy. Definitely helped me get that discipline. He was very straightforward, very much about making sure that I was on time all the time, making sure that I gave 110%, making sure that I didn't slack off, and that it was about the team. Until this day, I could call him at any time and he'll answer and he'll give me advice and he'll help me figure out what it is I need to do, which he did. Shout out to my man Dean a couple months ago when I was in some hot water. And he helped me maneuver through it and allow me to get to the other side. So Dean, I remember many mornings smoking over there, him smoking, blowing smoke in our face, kicking our ass, me, Justin, about all kinds of stuff. Christine, just about everything and everything. You know, not getting down on time, not synchronizing the down times, leaving packages in the building, not walking our belts. That was a famous. Not necessarily not walking our belts, but not walking them good and leaving packages in there. And that would be a pet peeve. And I remember all the time when he would say, meet me in 95. Oh, man, we already know. We're going to get our butt chewed out and it's going to be in a puff of smoke. So Dean was another real one. Johnny, my man Johnny Moore, he's a UPS legend. Main Street legend for sure. I mean, Johnny was another one. Johnny was like my dad. Growing up as a young adult, definitely gave me advice as far as the financial. He was the first one to tell me, hey, you need to get a 401k. What are you doing? Why are you not investing in yourself? Why are you not paying yourself? Why are you not putting money away? Oh, I can't afford it. You know, I only make, at that time, $150 a week, $160 a week. I can't afford to put none of that away. I need every single cent. Well, you're going to need money when you get older, and you need to pay yourself, and you need to start putting money away and investing in yourself. 10%. And Johnny was and is still to this day that guy. He always talked about UPS culture, you know, the golden handshake, making sure that we understood how important it was to talk about Jim Casey and talk about the founders and talk about what exactly they envisioned way back when in 1907 when they started this wonderful company. And to make sure that we don't allow it to become something that he wouldn't recognize. And Johnny always talked about how it was our responsibility to do that. And he still talks about that to this day. And I really wish that everybody, and I'm sure everybody has who works at UPS, a form of a Johnny Moore, but I wish it was something that, you know, the company would embrace a little bit more, especially now as we're getting, you know, older. We're 108 years now, 109, maybe 110. I'm terrible at math. I said it was 1907, so don't judge me. But it's changing, right? Because the world's changing, right? As technology changes, and we live in a me in a now society where we want things now. It's changing, and I wish that everybody had somebody like Johnny to teach him the culture, so that we would be able to replicate that as we go along, through the generations of UPSers. My man Tim, Tim gave me the opportunity to be a full-time soup, even though he thought I was crazy and rugged and rough, and just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get her to be professional and get her to be on time. That was the thing. I was always late. And I did like to argue. Anybody that knows me and knew me as a young adult knows that. And not necessarily out of... I wouldn't take it as wanting to argue all the time. I just wanted to make sure that you understood my position and you understood where I was coming from, and I wanted to understand where you're coming from. So I guess people could take that as confrontational or argumentative, but I saw it as passion, and I know he recognized it as passion. But having to hone that down and having to smooth it out to be able to have those high-level conversations with high-level managers and be able to handle myself in those high-stressful environments, high-stressful forums, and be able to carry myself and communicate to others, effectively. And that's something that he helped me get through, and he allowed others to mentor me through. And he gave me the opportunity in 2015 to be promoted and to take that step. And thankfully for his support, I was able to do that. And, I was able to attend his retirement party. We still talk. Tim is a great, great mentor, great coach, and he is living it up, retired, and being a granddaddy and just living life. My man Uriel, everybody knows Papa, just kicked my butt, kicked all our butts, treated us like family, treated me like family. I remember going to his kids' birthday parties. He went to my kid's birthday party, and just having a good time, and always being supportive, and always being there to mentor me and have those hard conversations with me. I remember Uriel pulling me to the side and telling me, if you want Tim to promote you, if you want Tim to take you serious, you need to start being on time. I am on time. The meeting's at 3:45. I walk in at 3:45. No, you're not on time. 3:45 is late. 3:40 is on time. And really just drilling in that mentality and drilling in the importance of evolving and of maturing in your mindset. And that's something that I'm very thankful for. And again, like I said, it's not only these individuals that I have named. It's too many to count. I mean, I've probably forgotten, sadly, more people than I could, ever thank for what they've done for me over these past 16 years. My man Roger Flores was the one that came up to me in 2007. He was the Commerce Center manager at that time. I was preloading on Pen 8, and he came all the way to the back, and he was like looking at my loads, and he was just like, you should really think about being a part-time soup one day. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I said, I don't know about that. And he was like, why not? And honestly, I didn't even have a reason why not. That was just my, knee-jerk reaction to say no. And then I went home and thought about it, and I was like, why not? And he was like, why not you? Why can't you be the one that runs the lines? Why can't you be the boss? You can impact the operation in other ways. You don't have to just physically work to do it. And I took a chance. And, shout out to Roger for seeing something in myself that I didn't see at that time. That was in 2007. Like I said, I was in Main Street till 2015. I got promoted, and then a couple months later, I'll never forget that day. My man Eric Decool, one of the best division managers I've ever had, says, hey, I need you to go up, meet me in my office. All right. Me and Eric used to talk all the time. We had a good relationship. He was a good DM, like I said. So I was like, all right, yeah, he wants to talk before the weekend. It was Friday. And I told Johnny, because we always walked out together. That's one thing that Johnny always stressed. We walk out as a team, We battle as a team. We walk out as a team. So we were all getting our sweaters ready to go. And Eric's like, hey, I need to see you real quick. So I'm like, all right, he wants to see me real quick. No big deal. I go up there, and he lays the bombshell that it's time for me to take my talents. He's like, you've been here a long time. This is where you were bred and made, And now it's time to see, you know, what kind of leader you are without your foundation. Like, I want to see what you can do on your own. I need you. I need you in this other building. I need you to do what you do here, over there. And that's when San Gabe was having a tough time, not making plan and not being able to do the things that they needed to do. So I got sent over there, and that's when my family extended. You know, I met JD, Jeff, Hyro, freaking Big Ed, which is a whole podcast in himself. If I could ever get this man on a podcast, I would be a legend. But he is freaking a big bear. I mean, he's like 6'4", 6'5", 280 pounds. I might be giving him more. It might be heavier. It might be less. I don't know. I think he's about 280. Big Puerto Rican guy. Looks like my dad. And I got so much love for that guy. He taught me so many lessons. Kicked my butt so many times because I'm a stubborn individual. And he really helped me see the bigger picture and really took the time to mentor me and took the time to show me and had the patience. Oh, man. He had the patience of a saint. I mean, when I did cross that line, he let me know it. There was at least 2 times where he kicked me out of the building and told me, get out because you're not listening. You need to get your shit, go. And I told him no. I said, I'm not leaving. And I didn't leave. And of course it was a battle because, I mean, what do you mean? I just gave you a directive order as your boss. And I'm like, okay, but that direct order is not something that I can do. I don't retrieve in the middle of a battle. So if we're going to battle, we're going to battle. And by battle, I don't necessarily mean you and I mean the battle's on the floor, the operation's going. I'm not going to go nowhere. And we had a lot of respect for each other after that. You know, because he's like, you got a lot of heart. You are crazy. You got a lot of heart. But you got to definitely work on XYZ. And he was right. And I was able to humble myself and admit that he was right. And, you know, just overall a great amount of leaders that I've been blessed to have. You know, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to bore the whole world about UPS talk. I'm just going to say that, you know, over the last 3 years, you know, I was promoted in 2019. And the first year and a half of that experience was great. And then the last year and a half of that was not so great. And I took a step back in June of this year. And I'm not a manager anymore. And man, I could talk to you about what that did to my mental, what that did to my psyche, and how that really challenged not only my love and my passion for the company, but for people and for being able to deal with that and how it made me feel, and then still be able to come to work, report to my people, and give them the best that I could. And I will definitely go into that experience deeper because that's its own podcast. The experience I had as a manager, I will tell you that in those 3 years, I realized something that I never really stood back and understood in the first, I guess, 12 years or 13 years of my career. And that is that as much as I love it, as much as I appreciate it, as much as it has blessed me abundantly, it is just a career. It's just a place. It's just a place, and we are replaceable in the truest sense of the word. We are replaceable. And once we realize that no amount of effort, no amount of loyalty is going to make you irreplaceable at work, you really take a step back into your effort into maintaining those things that I just mentioned. Now, don't get me wrong, I still go 110% because that's just what I do. I don't know if it's a Leo thing. I don't know if it's what it is, but it's in me. It's who I am. I don't go half-assed on things. But my dreams are not UPS related. my future is not UPS related. And if I choose to stay after 5 years from now, it will be a choice. And it will be something that I will consciously make the decision of at that time. And I'd never, previous to this past year, previous to 2021, ever really cared to see my life outside of UPS or care to dream of a life outside of it. And, don't shoot me. I know that that's a crazy thought, but I thought it was good. And man, oh man, I'm so glad that I took that trip to New Orleans in April of this year, because having that situation with the median, look at previous videos. I talk about the situation that happened out there and how I was kind of shaken to wake up. And then this happens. It was all supposed to happen that way. And I just let go and trusted God. And man, my life now is black and white. I mean, if you know me and you've seen me this time earlier, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, the stress, the look on my face said it all. And now, man, I'm loving life. I'm loving my job again. I'm able to coach, mentor, build people up, train them, and not have to deal with all the extra stuff. And like I said, that's a whole other podcast. I'm not going to go into it today. But it gave me a renewed vision and a renewed dream. And man, I find myself in awe all the time of our Lord. And I find myself in awe of his grace and his ability to make something that we see as bad, as dark, as black, and take it and bring it into something that protrudes light and radiates positive energy and radiates possibility. I just can't fathom how great our God is and the love he has for us, because whenever I'm beating myself up, God never fails to remind myself and to remind me that no, my child, it's okay. There's hope always when you have faith. And so 16 years today, do I regret them? No, definitely not. UPS has blessed me tremendously and abundantly. I've been able to go on epic vacations, epic trips, have great experiences, meet great people, people that I consider family. Shout out to my boy Eric De Los Santos. Shout out to my boy Ryan. Shout out to all my UPSers. Like I said, it's given me family. It's given me a lot of things, but it's okay to have other dreams, other passions, other visions, and that's what's going to help me fulfill the life destiny that I have according to God's will. And man, I'm excited. I'm so excited for the next year. 2022 is going to be a killer year for me. And man, like I said, if I want to leave UPS in 5 years, I got a lot of work to do. But it's definitely doable. And I'm very, very grateful for you guys' support. I'm definitely grateful for the words of encouragement during the last year and a half that I was going through some stuff. And only the real ones know what's cracking. You guys know that I was in a bad place. But man, am I out of that. And that's all thanks to the grace of God. I couldn't have done it by myself at all. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I pray that I'm able to make it. And I know, God's will, 20 years at UPS, maybe 25. Like I said, I do love my job. But I want to be able to have the financial freedom and the ability and the wealth to leave whenever I want. And I want to be able to do that for sure by the age of 40. So I got a lot of goals. I got to start working on my vision board so I could keep myself motivated for the next 12 months, because here to the next 12 months is going to fly by, and it's all about being intentional. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, give me some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. I really appreciate the love, you guys. You don't even understand. I appreciate your support on this journey. Keep your head up, like my man Pac said. And cheers to 16 years UPS. Later.